Okay, another day. Headed off to see the old cars and the old buses and some other surprise adventures. I did see some of them, but they had 3 different routes. The buses came one way, the trolleys came another way, and the cars came another way. I saw a few of them this morning, but it really wasn't good filming, so we're going to get them at their location at the square again. You can see that dude's carrying a knight's helmet. Nothing unusual in the metro today. So we're popping up the Technology Institute today. About a 20-minute walk. Okay, well that was a little bit of a walk, but somebody called and they ended up talking the whole way anyway. So here is where the antique cars and things, not the government ones, but individuals have gathered, and they're supposed to be here from 2 o'clock. So we're gonna go inside here, see if my information is correct. As far as the rallies this morning with the buses and trams, I found you can actually ride the buses, and I found out where they gathered, but they did it kind of weird. There were like 3 different websites, and all news articles kept pointing to one website and least information. It would be a very long time to find out exactly where they're going to be when they started, and they left like 9 or 10, they said between, I think between 9 and 10, and there's some spot that just wasn't easy for me to get to this morning. So maybe next year I'll go over and I'll ride around the buses, but for this year we're going to do what we can and see what we can find. Here we are entering Nicolas Kiradi, which is Nicholas Rowe, I think. Anyways, this is what it's supposed to be, so we'll see if there's anything interesting. They're broken into categories. Looks like the older ones are there, so we'll start over here. These ones aren't too interesting to me because a lot of these are like 2000s or 90s or something, but we'll get them anyways. It's a Russian one. Shady. I mean, I grew up in the 80s, so for me these aren't exactly old cars over here. That's just it. We'll take a walk around to the side and see if we find any older ones. In the winter, this is an ice skating rink, but they've set up a miniature golf course for now. A lot smaller turnout than I expected, but there'll be a much bigger turnout at the other place. And I always loved miniature golf as a kid, but these ones, I mean, okay, if you've never done it, it's a novelty. These are okay, but I always like the ones with like waterfalls and, you know, the big, really set up ones. But of course, this is a temporary one, or kind of temporary, because I noticed the holes are actually holes in the decking here. Although the decking looks like they lay down the decking too, because during the ice rink, it covers the ice rink area, I guess. So let's go check out these cars and see what we've got. So here's a Volga. I use these a lot. Not so much anymore. When I lived here 20 years ago, these were common for taxis and former diplomat cars. And here now we're starting to get some slightly more interesting stuff. That's a Volvo. And this one's a World Cup rally, so I guess they have a rally car at some point. Okay, here we go. A little more interesting for me over on this side now that we're getting a bit older. This is a Gaz. I've ridden in these ones too, because Gaz for Gazelle. In fact, the Gaz cars I think are from Nizhny Novgorod. I'm not sure, and I'll be there next week. I'm going to Nizhny Novgorod this Monday, so I don't know if I'll have a chance to go to the Gaz plant or not. But look at the hood ornaments on this thing. I have a hood ornament still in my mom's house of a huge jet. It's like bigger than my hand. From some old car, I think it's maybe a Buick or something. Gas also. That was a Mercedes. Hey, I'll pause this and restart. Let's send a picture of a friend of mine who's a Mercedes freak. Okay, back to the old Mercedes. Some people are even dressed up in vintage styles. We saw there's a lady sitting in the car over there. Oh, no bug. I don't know. Somebody explain to me what that is. Is that a German car or something? I don't know. I'll figure that out. Yeah. German. I'm pretty sure that's German. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so let's go see what's over on this side. These ones are a little less interesting, but I got you there. This is, I don't know. I don't know what that is. And the logo doesn't exactly say. Something over here is more interesting. Flag on it.
Более-менее показывает четко по состоянию проблем, потому что еще погрешность есть. У тебя когда ты начинаешь там участки, где там по 200 метров, по 50 метров, там и
marking on it. I don't know. It's got a website, Old Timer Cars Rue, though, so I guess there's like a association. That one's pretty cool. It's like a rule in here. Again, no idea. Nice. Let's try to look around and take a picture. No idea.
Cool looking car.
Anybody want to identify this car for me? Tell me what it is. I don't see any markings on it. Oh, I see Volkswagen on the hubcaps. Is this a Volkswagen? Let's see in the back. Oh, it's a Volkswagen. Oh, this is a Jaguar. Of course. Of course, it's a Jaguar. I should have known that. It's pretty nice. I had a friend who had a Jaguar once. He would drive his programs. This one is excellent condition. So far, that one, and I like this weird looking Volkswagen. It might not be the Jaguar, but that is, come on, you gotta admit, that's pretty cool looking. The Jaguar's nice. There's a few more cars down here. Older than I go down here. Down here. Paintings.
Левый есть, правый есть, не стоп.
Some artwork.
Yeah.
It's probably Formula One. Oh, bunch of buggies. Oh, it's a Musk Beach. Okay, Musk Beach. Figured it out. Got a lot of that. I understand this. But again, always feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, let's see what we got down here. These are a few more vehicles. Then after this, we'll head back down to the Transport Fest, and we'll see the old buses and things. So, pick a car. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is more interesting to me. Look at this Audi, it says. That logo in there. That is a very cool car.
Oh, Chad, hey, Chad.
Hey! Oh, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Well, I know you don't want on camera, so I'm going to hide you. So, you're okay to be on camera today or no? No. Okay, how are you? So we found people.
Yeah.
We found a Nikita.
We are here.
So I have to cut you out, or that little bit's okay?
Yeah,
I have to cut you out?
I mean,
Okay.
what do you prefer?
I prefer not to have to edit it. So, okay. Arrival of something or other. So I guess they're going to be arriving throughout the day, but we're head to Transport Fest. Okay, well, worth coming. I thought there'd be a lot more cars, but still not bad to come here. And it's not really out of my way anyways, and I had a nice walk. So now we're going to head back to Mindenai Ploshit, where the Transport Fest is. But on my way there is, well, I got a Snickers bar in my bag, and there's a Minion Juice place I like. So we're going to be stopping off and doing that on the way there. Yeah, it's probably about a 40-minute walk. I'm going to grab a bike or a bus or something, but beautiful day at a Snickers bar. And I have like an hour and 45 minutes before the concert even starts. And they're not going to start with the best people anyway. So I'm just going to wander down there. An old fire station, probably still operational. And it's got the old fire watch towers from back in the day when they used to have to sit and watch for fires in there. So, off in the distance, St. Isaac's Cathedral. Dear Snickers Company, one of my favorites from commercial candy. But we need it dark and less sugar. They're too sweet. There's plenty of eating, so I'm actually hungry. Huge salad before I left the house. Really good, fresh. I made it myself, and I love salads. I mean, Americans think salad's just lettuce, but it's greens, tomatoes, all those, and some rinds of cheese and things. It's really fantastic. The thing with a salad is like, salad really fills me up. It's like if I eat meat, I'm like, but if I eat salad, it's like I'm full. And then all of a sudden, I'm just hungry like instantly. So maybe I'll grab some meals. Just a cool looking building. Actually, I remember there's a shawarma place up here, about 10 more minutes walk. It's just a local, it's not a chain, but I ate their white sauce quite good. So I'll stop and see if they have falafel. Again, nice thing in Russia, again, is that they really beautify their cities. They take care of even small things. And again, I know the trolls are going to say it's St. Petersburg, but this happens in every city, and we're going to prove that. We're going to be in Volga this week. And in June, I will be visiting 8 Russian cities. So you'll get a nice tour of things other than Moscow. Well, of those 8, but Moscow plus 7 others, okay? And you can see what other cities are like in Russia too. Yes, that fire station is active because I see a fire truck coming out of it now. And in fact, there's a fire truck right here. So I guess they're coming here. And you can hear the wheel on, and it's going to be coming. Will they go the other way? They go the other way. So maybe they're independent issues. But anyways, still active, still a fire station. And the fire station's probably, I don't know, 150 years old or older. See, more flowers. I believe these are pansies. My grandmother used to plant in front of her. She had pansies and roses. And you see all the roses laid down here too. And boy, very fragrant. Even the daisies are dandelions, but so fragrant. This is the October. So if I understand it, well, it says January 1964, but I think it the October division, People's Division of Workers Payment Region. I don't get the whole thing right, but something to do with the October Division of the People's Workers something, I think. Really nice parking here. So, you know, regarding my situation, everybody's like, get Trump's attention. But listen, guys, yes, if we could get Trump's attention, he could take care of my case and the optics would look fantastic for him. But still, it's not as easy as people on the internet think. You can't just tag his Twitter account and have him respond. So if there's any hope for that to work, literally, it's going to have to be a grassroots effort, and it's going to require tens of thousands or 1 million tags or so. So if you want to boost my story, go nuts. But I got a whole bunch of things in the works. I've tried things like this before, and they typically don't go very far. So if you want to give it a try, somebody wants to run with it, please do. Here's a better view of the park. Yusupevsky Gardens. And it's Yusupevsky Palace over there. So this place is really incredible. It's got a little island over there you can sit on. And sometimes I just come sit here and just watch life go by. I'm not going to walk around it today. Let's pop in to show it to you real quick. And because, you know, we have this plan of food, main juice, trolleys. So we're going to continue on that plan. Central Transport Museum of Russia. We have many transportation museums here. I was here about 25 years ago. It's actually really cool. They got a lot of really cool models in there. I keep forgetting about it. So 210 years. I need to come back to this place. Make a great video. Of course, we're traveling most of the next month, so definitely have to get back in here sometime. Okay, once here. Last year or something. It's a 4.4, which is decent. But I remember it being pretty decent falafel, so I don't have much here. Actually, it's a different place. It doesn't look bad, but I want to go try and find the one, I guess, further down that I went to before, because I remember the falafels were good. Actually, I'm beginning to think that might have been the place, but they totally remodeled it, because there's no other places to go. So, one place over here. This place is really good. I've never been there, but it's really, really good. They don't open for another 20 minutes. So, we're going to try the ramen place next door, which is rated pretty good, too. Yeah, I guess I'm doing ramen instead of falafel. This looks promising. They make the ramen right here, so I love fresh noodles, so I think I like this place. Okay, I don't normally make toilet videos, but I noticed it's very clean. I can see why, because they have a checklist and they check soap, floor, toilet paper, trash, the sink, the mirror. The last one is, but anyways, everything. Clean toilets. So it speaks good of the place. Over there, it says noodle range, and it has noodles hanging. See? When deep in flesh, taste a meal. Okay, AI, we gotta get better at these translations. $4.70, and it's huge. Normally, they say something spicy in Russia. They don't eat it, unless it's mustard. But this is spicy. Actually, it's spicy Russian. It's not super spicy. Definitely can do back here. The noodles are extremely fresh because they made them over there. Not particularly fond of this dish I chose, but I'll do something to the next time. Definitely. Okay, walking down towards Minion Juice and then eventually to the park. At this point, I have no idea what a lot of Westerners, especially Americans, think about what Russia's like. And so I'm making these videos just to show you everyday life, not trying to show you anything different or completely special. And probably the number one comment I get from people is that how normal it is, how European it is. Yeah, it is. And of course there's Far East areas too, but it's still very Asian European, if that makes any sense. Asian Western, I don't know. But things are just normal. And that's even with the sanctions and everything else going on. So I hope the takeaway that most people will get from this is that whatever you're getting, wherever you're getting your ideas about what Russia is, they're wrong. And those people are not only lying to you, those news sources, but why are they doing that? Where is their reasoning for having to do that, to lie about what even everyday life in Russia is like? And once you realize that, you'll realize that propaganda in the West is just as bad as everywhere else. In fact, I often say it's worse because propaganda in Russia, like Russians, are can be very much in your face, very direct. You're not going to miss it. But propaganda in the West, they're much slicker about it. They slide it into movies. They're much more subtle about it. And the result of that, I think, is that Western propaganda is far more effective than people realize, especially Western. Because, sure, Russian propaganda, Eastern European, I say, can be effective too. But more people recognize it, even if they believe in some of it. Whereas in the West, most people are like, no, the Western news is, you know, okay, it's CNN, it's fake news, but it's not propaganda. And they just can't see it, and it's right there in their faces. It's so embedded in every aspect of your life. You can see down at the end of the street here, but that's the Admiralty, and then the blue thing is it's some famous building. I forget the name of it, but it's really cool looking. Okay, Minion Juice Place. Definitely one of the less expensive, big selection. It's not often I find a place that has so much of what I like. I have to mine, but I'm at a crossroads. I even have more than one type of pomegranate. Well, I just accidentally ordered a whole liter. I wanted to try each, and I asked him, but I guess he didn't hear me. And I ended up getting two, but they're super cheap. So I got both of these around $6.50 total. So let's dive in. Pomegranate raspberry is good, but the pomegranate hibiscus. This is the first of the Pivolingo. Next step is I buy some other people's beer, and they get very friendly. Everyone speaks slowly. Try and speak to people in the street. But I can usually get them. Sometimes the buffering takes a while. So instead of hiring a tutor, just come to these friendly Pivolingo establishments. And for like $1.50, you can get like a 2-hour lesson from a native who speaks Logan. Okay, we're not planning on a full liter, but anyways, all's good. So now we'll walk down here. I wonder how the buses are running today. I'm running a little bit late, and I'm going to be some this evening, so maybe I'll catch a bus down there to save some time. Perfect. Bus right here. It's about a kilometer, so I'm going to save myself some time. I actually preferred to walk, but I took a little too much time drinking that mini juice. Anyways, the bus is right there. That was a kilometer. Saved me a lot of time. So now we are headed up here. Let's see Michael's Castle again, and we're going to hopefully see all the old retro buses that I missed yesterday. And there goes our bus. A lot busier today than yesterday for sure. Well, I caught the last 15 minutes or so. I thought concert going long. I thought they have like intros and then the main headliner. But it seems the headliner right there. Who's sorry, I forgot the guy's name. Some famous Russian singer from the 80s, but I checked it out beforehand, and I even recognized a lot of the songs just from living in Russia before. So got the last 3 or 4. Pretty cool. I should have come earlier, but you know, live and learn. Okay, let's see if we can go find the retro buses, which I think are parked down over on Ingenieria ulica. So we're gonna make our way over there and see if we can find them. Actually, just that group was packing up. They have more, so we'll see. Actually, I think that's the headliner. He has the famous song, so I think it is. But I have to pee, and I enjoyed the first one. Not that he's bad, but okay, we found the older buses. Let's go check them out. There's actually a lot of them. So let's walk down here and start and come back. Okay, we see you, Rasgardia, Oman. You're not hiding among them. Anyways, yeah, they're here, but it's like they're lined up with other buses. So we have, let's start at the beginning and walk down. We have everything we saw yesterday. Some car, I don't know exactly what, but very squarish in the front. And I don't know what kind this is. But anyways, okay. Over here. Is this a Zil? St. Petersburg to Moscow. Zil 127. I like the streamlines on this one, the colors. Green is nice. And ooh, a Russian duck. Another Zil. Very off-road, swampy. I'm assuming it can go in the water, but maybe it's just for swamps. I don't know. I'm assuming it's on a bus, but you never know. Another old model here. I'm trying to block anybody else's pictures, but very roundish. This one's very nice and round too. I like round things. Color Zil 155. Not to be outdone. They don't know what that's for. Transport. I can't do that from over here. But something. City Automobile Factory, GAZ 51, GAZ 52. Now this one here, this is a very, very important vehicle. I want you to see why. This vehicle is very dear to my heart because it delivers minion juice and kvass. So a very, very important vehicle here. And we have more gas. On this side we have, oh, there's a cool truck from probably the very early times of the Revolution, World War II. Oh, blue looks nice. This one's very like atomic punk roundish, kind of cool. Very squarish. But windows. Pupina, Leningrad. It's called a suburb of St. Petersburg. This one, what is this vehicle? That's kind of weird looking. We're gonna check that out. So, marshrutkey type ones. This is Magnolia 80. What does it do? It's a special vehicle for Soviet television. So yeah, it's a special vehicle for something to do with television. Yeah, in the back it says Soviet TV as well. Interesting colors. Let's get a bit of a distance over here so I can get them all in. Another just buses of the Soviet Union. Is this one going somewhere at 6 o'clock? I don't know if that's... Maybe you can go somewhere at 6 o'clock in this one. What time is it? 5:10. Well, even if you can, I'm not sitting on the bus for 45 minutes. If that sign's accurate or not. But it's like nice comfy seats in that one. Old bus could use more restoration work, but still. They all drove here on their own, so they're all functional vehicles. It says peace, friends with Cuba. Maybe it's a bus. I don't know. It says peace, friends with Cuba. Bus, and then we have the more modern buses coming down here again. Well, not completely modern. I mean, this one's definitely modern, a limp. But then we come down and see, and all these buses came here. These weren't towed here. These all drove here in a parade this morning. And this was the parade I missed because it started like 9 or 10 o'clock and it just wasn't at a spot that I was willing to wake up early enough to get to. But probably next year, because I saw these. I was in a restaurant with some friends last year and I saw them all drive by. So definitely something that'd be pretty cool to do, but maybe next year. I don't know where they keep these in the off time because I've been to the museum here and they do have some old buses here, but none of these ones are really in the museum. So they must keep them somewhere else during the year. And there's more down here. And it's like a phone call. Okay, back to your regularly scheduled program. So these are more modern-ish buses, but what I'm really excited about is to get down to the retro trolleys. That's what I want to see. Although you can see them in the museum, can't always get on them. So let's see what we can get to down here. Okay, I'm just gonna pause it. These are more modern-ish buses, nothing super exciting that we really didn't see recently. There we go, old trolleys. And keep in mind that all of these, or at least the majority of these, made it their way here on their own, which means that they are not simply just restored in as the cover, but they actually are operational. Many of these you can ride around the cities as tours. So let's take a closer look at these. Let's go up to the head and we'll come back. Oh, some old trucks. Anyways, kind of interesting. Old dump truck. What's interesting about this one a little bit is that the bed of this truck is rounded like a barrel. Of course, it has a lot less space, but also means it's stronger. Probably easier to make. I don't know if that's why or not, or maybe it's designed for very heavy things. I don't know. And then we have, I don't know. This, I'm guessing, this is a service trolley, but it has a turret on the back. So I don't know exactly if this is something left over from the blockade or what it was used for, but let's see if we can find a sign. There's a sign on the other side. Let's go around and check it out. We're gonna have to come back to the whole line of old cars here too. So should do that. They have both sides on one side. Okay, let's do that now. Let's go check out these old cars and come back. It's actually a Cadillac. Kind of interesting looking Cadillac. I don't think I've ever seen one like that. So far, a lot of the cars in the 80s and 90s not so interesting to me, but this thing. What is this thing? This looks kind of interesting. It looks, I don't know, it looks modern, but kind of styled. I don't know, 1990. Okay. I guess it makes a little more sense to me, but definitely very different looking. I don't really see anything else down there. I'll walk down. Doesn't look like anything. Nothing super interesting except for that one weird 1990 car. That was kind of cool. Let's go back to the trolleys. I mean, I get it. Cars from like the 80s and 90s, 30, 40 years old. So when I was a kid, like cars from the 50s or 40s, I guess. But for me, having grown up with these cars, they're just, I'm still excited and more interested in, like at least 70s or 60s or beyond. But we'll see what we can find. Oh, this one actually, this weird 1990, oh, those are the Cadillac, it's not the 1990s one. But they said these all drove here in a parade, so they're all functional cars. That one is quite cool. Gotta give it. That one, I guess, just not all the familiarity, but a lot of the cars in the 80s just weren't very cool. And the 90s was like a whole nother just, I don't know, the 90s was very blah for cars for me. I mean, except for, you know, certain sports cars and things, but still something about 70s is like a little nostalgic because I grew up with 70s cars too. But, you know, 60s and back, that's really when I get interested. Oh, I get it now. Okay. So this thing has its own wheels. So it's like a little gun platform that could roam the rails on its own. And I guess the advantage is because it's so heavy, that's why we need the rails. Look at that. Let's get a better picture of it. So that's very interesting, actually. Okay, so what else we got? I think there's more cars in there. We'll check them out. Here's a open air bus, not the frame. Here is yeah, open air platform trolley as well. So much. Let's come back when I see the inside of some of these. So I don't know. I guess this is what a old bus looks like. Almost looks like it's made out of like steel rebar, but I guess that's what it is. Or maybe it's just a model. I don't know, because those are definitely not real trolley leads. Maybe it's an art project. But the buses over here. And, these are all trolley buses. I guess when I'm done, I can walk down past those cars. And then I'll have to find which metro I'm going to take home from here, or bus or something. But these are pretty cool. Let's take a look inside. Yeah, it feels very retro. Very short, but still feels cool. This is an emergency service vehicle. This one they had on Telegram. I think it's very, very recently restored. And here's the old, real old ones. I guess when they decided to put two of them together. And let's see what else. Got some buses over here. Trolley buses, old trolley buses. Modern. Let's see. What else we got down here? Well, that's a modern work trolley similar to the one we were on yesterday. I guess all the modern ones, well, there's another street down here. I'll walk down here and see if there's anything off in that direction or hidden down behind it. Yeah, it looks like there's more stuff that I didn't see yesterday. So, note to self, next time, it's cool I came yesterday, but you're really gonna come on the second day to see everything after the parade. Oh yeah, there's actually a lot down here. Oh, I like that red one, the second red one. That's got very streamlined looks to it. Looks very cool. Let's walk around done. And that's what we got up here. There's some more trolleys. This looks like some service vehicles. I'll walk down around behind. There's a very big crowd down this way. Oh, and looks like a trolley with wheels. It's kind of weird. Don't think anything new down there. Let's see what's over here. That working meter. I'm so glad they brought these back. Okay, so more interested in these older trucks. Let's see, we've got there's some more buses down here at the end. Let's see. More Mercedes with Mercedes. This one is a Scana, I don't know yet. And a Russian vehicle. And, I guess I'm gonna have to walk back to see if there's cars along the front tank in that direction again. And I could go over and catch a bus or something maybe. I guess this thing is probably one of those vehicles when they're repaving the roads when it picks up pieces, or I guess it could pick up snow or anything and dump it into the truck behind it. Little hidden alley. It actually says Garden Street over there in English. Never seen it. So, or some Mercedes buses. Okay, well, since I don't want to miss anything, I'm gonna go back and see if there's any more cars down to the left here on Fontaine instead of the right. Ice cream truck here, but also ice cream festival is going on today and tomorrow. So I think I'm gonna save my ice cream allocation until tomorrow. Go to the ice cream festival. the Icarus 5414 luxury bus. I suppose for many people, seeing some of these buses is probably nostalgic in both sometimes a good or a bad way. Their life in the Soviet Union. I mean, I get that too. It's still, trolleys remind me of things, and then followed by the cars. But the buses are pretty cool. This one is some kind of medical bus, not an ambulance, but I guess like a medical response bus of some sort, or a mobile hospital. I don't know. I don't know. Is that a little fire response station over there? I'm doing that. Something. Okay, down between the trolleys and coming out between the ones like this. This particular one definitely runs because they run it on tours around St. Petersburg. I think it runs every day. I believe this one does too. And I've been meaning to go on it, but I have not had a chance yet. And then we have the this one up here, the blue one, I believe is a replica of one of the original horse-drawn carriages, while many of the others are in fact originals. I'll walk up inside this way. Going back in time.
Все, пойдем, выходим. Настя, пошли.
Really quite a well-organized event. I mean, it chops off some of the trolley lines for 3 days, but that's cool. There's plenty of transport otherwise. But if you're ever here and you're a transport nerd, definitely a place to come. So we're gonna check out, hopefully there'll be some older cars done this way. And then I'm either gonna find a bench to sit down on, or I'm just gonna head home and on a bus, then I gotta rest. And I have to go to the airport tonight to pick somebody up. Looks like a parade of Ladas, at least the initial opening thing here. As we get farther down, we'll see what else we find. But so far, it's a bunch of Ladas. Of course, I've ridden in these. A lot of bullies are no stranger to me, especially when I was here 25 years ago. Not so common anymore. My father-in-law had one. I don't know, this is the exact model he had here, but kind of cool. They're in different colors. It's like when you go to the amusement park and you have those kiddie cars now come in different colors. And, yeah, it looks like we're just running the more normal cars down here, but we'll see what else. I think these are all still Ladas. Of course, here's the more, well, this is still kind of old, but more newer than those ones. And Lada is still producing cars today. I think they just started producing an electric car even. And then, let's see what else. This one's, I don't know if it's 90s, 2000s, probably 2000s. I think in the 90s they were still producing the mostly older models. So the ones that look a little bit newer, I think, are for the 2000s. And then the ones from today are much more like a modern car that you'd expect from other places. We're there too. Well, unless I see a bench. Oh, I see a bench. But will there be room on it by the time I forget to edit that later, because the editing process takes so long. But some other ones. Oh, here's a little red one. I don't know if it's one I was looking at before, but that one's pretty cool. It's in good shape too. Look at that. That's quite nice. I'm in a hole for metro stations here with this traffic. The bus is gonna be a while, so I'm probably gonna have to walk over to the next main street over here to catch a bus on that street. USB is standard. They seem to have somehow goofed up on purpose. Can't tell you how many years it took them to get how many connectors. GoPro doesn't charge when plugged into a USB 3 only. Have to move over to the USB 2, which is really stupid because power should be power. Even on power delivery, it should deliver the basics, but nope. I don't know if it's an original wooden boat or not. It's got a modern engine on it, but still nice looking. I decided to wait for the bus. See Church of the Spilled Blood over in the distance. The bus has made good progress, although it's around the corner. It's stuck in traffic, or they're still way faster than walking anywhere. So catch a bus. I'm gonna make one stop, get something printed out, go home, rest for a bit. Here's a summer garden, by the way. That is an awesome place to walk. It's got some really cool fountains and stuff in there. So here's the bus I need, but it's going the wrong way, but the other one's coming soon. And for some reason, there only seem to be 2 of these in the route today. Now here comes a double-decker bus, but that's for tourists only. It basically runs around the town. You can hop on, hop off, and see the city. Sometimes buses pass in on the transponders on, so they're not on the map. But Yandex is showing a bus that just drove by me, and it didn't. I don't understand how Yandex has buses that move. Nonetheless, don't actually exist. But apparently, now the bus is split into 2. And there's another one stuck over there in traffic too. And yet, 276s. Oh, here's a 46. That's not helpful. Where are all the buses I don't need coming from? And, gosh, at this point, should I just take one over to the metro and go to the metro? Well, oh no, I see another one. Okay, over on the corner, hopes it's my bus. But how one drove by me and doesn't exist but shows up on the map? Somebody at Yandex, please explain that to me. Okay, quick stop print shop near the train station. Got something printed for tonight. So now I gotta get another bus, or I gotta take a bicycle. I feel a little bit after resting on the bus. Head home, rest, and then head back over here. Ate one piece of pizza, too much before I left the house. We are ready at the airport. Yeah, this is the traditional Russian way to greet returning students from anywhere. Right? So dignified. Yeah, you always they wear banana costumes at graduation too. Yeah, you know.